Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of BNB Chain. I'm Ahmed Haimer. I work on the global business development team for the gaming vertical for BNB Chain. And today we have Bill. He's the director of community from Gameta. Gameta has been helping a lot of people with their move to Web3. And at this time, Bill, how about you introduce Gameta to us and to everybody listening?
Great. Thanks for having me, Bill. I'm Ahmed. It's great to be here today. So hi everyone. My name is Bill, and like Ahmed just mentioned, I am the global community director at Gameta, basically helping our fans and people all around the world connecting with each other and enjoy the Gameta project. So I'll give everybody a quick overview of our project. If that's okay, I have some very nice visuals that we have produced. I can share with everyone to take a look at it. And then, let me take a look. Yeah. So this is our basically what our project is. So basically, our project is called Gameta, and it aims to bring over 20 million everyday consumers into Web3 through a combination of hyper casual games and NFT system. So to achieve this kind of goal that we have a team with a very rich background in both Web2 and Web3. So on the Web2 side, our founder and the development team has an average of over 8 years of game development and experience per person. With 20 million downloads in the games that develop. On the Web3 side, we have team members with an average of 5+ years of experience in crypto, ranging from product development to system and token design to project marketing and also global promotion. So overall, we believe we are very rich in resources to bring Gameta to where we want it to be. And to achieve our goal in bringing over like 20 million everyday consumers into Web3, we are currently how we want to do it is we usually have a three-step model for our product and our services. So, for example, right now in step one, we basically leverage a proven game development and distribution model that can bring in millions of active users per month on chain to our ecosystem. So this is kind of being directly related into the casual games that people play that we have developed, and then through that way we help them to experience Web3 and join the Game network. And then in step two, when we have a lot of players like in our ecosystem, we direct our player to experience and get used to our token and NFT system while play their games in a very non-intrusive way. So overall, when people play our games and experience Web3, they still feel like they're playing the Web2 way. So that doesn't very much change the habit they're already comfortable with. And then finally, step three, with users very accustomed to the Web3 system, we usually build the likes of marketplace DeFi services to them user, basically expanding their Web3 experience. So eventually, we want to build a Web3 economy of scale where we'll have about 10 to 20 million users, where every user is an experienced Web3 spender or user. So currently, our project is in its first phase, I've mentioned, where people just basically first by playing our games. So right now we have around 11 games that are launched, and they all can be downloaded through Apple Store, App Store, and Google Play Store. So we have about 200 more actually of these games in stock, and will be released gradually to users, so they can always have new content to play, and we'll always have new distribution channels for them to take a look at. And all these games, they are unified by one common token system and NFT system for all the games. So whichever game you play in the future, when you earn your token rewards or when you receive an airdrop NFT, they will all belong to the same system, so that you can then link to all the other users in the ecosystem that we have in there. So we've been on BNB chain for about a month plus right now. So beyond 30 plus days and experience. We had a very good experience with the ecosystem and a lot of help as well. So currently, and also the traction from users have been very great for us. So currently, we have about 1 million on-chain users from this month of migrating onto BNB chain. That put us ranked second in terms of all that ranking on the BNB chain. And currently, we have about 120,000 daily active users actually on our in our network on the BNB chain over there. So yeah, that's really great news for us, and we won't stop, and we will keep growing, getting more people into experience this and getting more people onto the BNB chain. And then, like I mentioned before, the project itself is linked by one unified token system. One of the premier tokens for the system is called the HB token. So it will have a lot of token utilities on there, including economic utilities and also the governance utilities. So on the economic side, it has a very broad range of utilities for people to experience, like token holders can have a chance to share revenues in the future that we earn in the ecosystem. They can be used to the tokens can be used to reduce fees in the marketplaces, and also in the future, like in next phases when partners come into the system to share theirs, like services to our users, they will need to stake the HV tokens. So overall, you just have a lot of utilities, and we'll be adding more to it. And then for the other side is that we'll be building adult governance as well. The communities will be able to have the power to choose which content they want to release or what games they prefer to play in the future. They have voting right on that in the future. Next, on the token economics for our project is actually very standard. We do a lot for the communities to enjoy, and then overall, we also have a longer listing and lockup period for our team and the advisors. So overall, we believe in the long-term development of the project. And currently, we have a lot of investors as well, including Binance, BNB Chain. Our partners are in here with us. We're developing a lot of them with the BNB Chain overall. And let me quickly show you everyone what exactly our game usually look like. They are in the form of very casual games for people to play around with. Yeah, so that's a quick look at what our project is, and what the games usually look like. Like you just saw on the screen, it's very casual games that usually you play about 10 to 20 minutes or half an hour a day, and it kind of give you a relaxation in terms of enjoying them. And then throughout the process, you can also earn rewards and tokens that can give you some economic incentives in throughout your playtime as well. So yeah, we hope those games can all be found in the App Store, and we hope that fans and users come to experience them on BNB chain. So yeah, that's a little bit of a background for us.
Thank you very much for the detailed presentation, Bill. Most of us learned about Gameta through casual games. So is Gameta a gamified project?
That's a very good question. So let me touch a little bit on that. So right now, the game itself does look a lot like let's just say a GameFi project, because you play them by the games, you play the games, and that's how you become to know our project. However, like I mentioned before, what we ultimately aim is to really bring users, everyday consumers, people who play the games, enjoy their mobile applications and not knowing too much about Web3, bring those people into Web3 in a large scale for us and for everyone. Like I mentioned, we do that in 3 stages. Like, first one is that what we are currently doing, that you experience us through the games. and we distribute all these games all around the world to all the every consumers, and they'll play it, they experience it, and then gradually we kind of add into more features into the games, like you kind of get to being get airdropped an NFT, you get able to acquire the tokens through payment, instead of just using a credit card to unlock the ads. You use like other ways to do it, and then when you're kind of experienced, are used to the like let me put this. Oh, we are used like to the this kind of mechanism, like the simple mechanisms in Web3 will start being a marketplace for you, and then that kind of builds your habits, and then provide you with more services in Web3, kind of expand the horizon that of the experience of the user. So ultimately, what we want to do is convert a large scale of users into being able to do have the experience in Web3, and thereby you're creating a large economy of sales. So that's why we call ourselves a kind of Web2 to Web3 infrastructure. That's kind of the logic behind it.
Great. Thank you so much for shedding a light on that. You also mentioned that Gameta's goal is driven to convert a large demographic of Web2 everyday consumers to Web3. Can you give us a little bit more details on that, and how the conversion model that you're following is different than other conversion models that other projects in the Web3 market are following?
Definitely, and that's a great question. So, because right now, I think one of the trend in the Web3, market industry is definitely to bring more and more to utilize the ability of Web3 and bring more and more mainstream or Web2 users into this area to get people more experiences. And that's also one of the things that the BNB chain is helping a lot of the projects working on. And I think we're one of the people who want to achieve that goal as well. I think the difference with us and the other ones who's also doing this lies in three different factors. One is that difference in scale. Is that a lot of the project right now, I think the scale the users they bring in tend to numbers in the tens of thousands, like 50 to 100,000 or half a million, that kind of range. However, our goal is to bring 10 million to 20 million, which is probably another upper the level a little bit. That kind of relies from our background, the team background in developing hyper casual games and releasing to the users for years. So that is an industry where you can reach a large number of users through your distribution channels, and it's a very good medium to reach that large number of users. And because we're developing that distribution model for 5 to 6 years, so now we have a very mature system to reach users all around the world, to just have them have a feeling of the taste of what our product is. So we essentially have the ability to be able to reach out to a great number of users, have them have the experience, and then kind of attract them into experience Web3. And secondly, I think the difference in our way of doing customer education is that we use there's two kinds of ways in getting people to know about Web3. One is that, so we kind of assume that Web3 is a very premier experience. So we kind of give the users a barrier to entry. So if you want to know Web3, you have to learn a lot of knowledge. You have to take your lessons, like know about how to buy Bitcoin, how to track on-chain transactions, how exactly see how the wallet works. So we have to learn a lot. But then we can't take the opposite road. We want to build the experience in Web3 for the users as non-intrusive as possible. So essentially, because our users basically they're just everyday people who download the game and play them. And I doubt if they really have that incentive, want to spend an hour learning how exactly wallet works, how to click on different button and kind of save your funds in there. So when we do it for them, we build the fiat payment gateway for them. We let them kind of experience the NFTs in a game way. Like to them, it's like a role playing game, and also the tokens is like instant rewards for them that they already have experience with. So essentially, when they playing our services or play our games, it still feels like they're playing their own games that they play on a daily basis. It just now they have more colors, more incentives to play around with. And then along that way, we gradually let them kind of in a positive way experience, okay, some Web3 elements. Like, okay, now I have an NFT, and when you do that, you get rewards. Okay, now you're earning token rewards, and what you can do, you can spend that rewards to unlock secret levels, to get other stuff. So when you get happy about it, then you can kind of, it's a positive education. And by doing that in a non-intrusive way, you lower the conversion friction. You can get more people to experience Web3, and basically get more people to come in here to do it. And finally, that kind of helps our third factor that's different in terms is the difference in ecosystem building. What we mentioned is that we want to have a customer base that has gradually built their experiences in Web3. And when we reach that level of the ultimate Web3 experiences that they are very experienced and want to know more, we build the service to them based on their preferences. So basically it's what the user want and it's what we want to provide them. So we might not provide them directly with derivative experiences trading that concept because they probably don't want it. They're not experienced with it first. And then first you'll probably be a NFT interaction and the marketplaces, and gradually depending on their experiences and their preferences, that's how we're going to gradually release more services to them so that it's to their liking. So overall, three factors: one, scale; second, customer education; and thirdly, ecosystem building. That's kind of our main differentiation factors.
Thank you very much. That was quite detailed and quite nice to hear, to be honest. Let's get back to the casual games a little bit. The games that you provide, how can the user find them? What are the perks and the benefits that the users can get through playing your games?
Yeah, definitely. So, like I mentioned a moment before, these games are all like mainstream release games. They're just like any other hyper casual games. All casual games you can download and sense. If you play TikTok, if you spend a lot of times on like me on TikTok and Facebook, you can see them once a while in the ads. And yeah, feel free to click them, try them out. And then if not directly, you can just go to like the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and just search for like the crypto invaders, those kind of names, and you can directly be linked to the website to that. And uh, playing these games give you actually additional perks than just play your normal day-to-day, everyday casual games, because like when you play these games that the games are developed, first of all, you get a free airdrop of our Gameta Hippo NFT, so which is an avatar NFT. You own them. You have a very pretty design, and you own them. It helps you unlock hidden features in the game later. And there's actually a lot more things that will coming up into these NFTs. There might be marketplaces, there might be tradable options in the future, and there will be added benefits to these NFTs. So I would definitely advise our fans, our watchers, our people who's watching, go download, try it out, get your airdrop of free Hippo NFT, because very soon in the future you'll find very more perks announced for the NFT that you have on your hand.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody knows that Gameta has migrated to BNB chain. We're gonna have to ask openly, how are you guys doing so far?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. First of all, we want to thank the BNB chain. Thanks, BNB. We're very grateful of it. Definitely when we migrate to BNB chain, we had a lot of support and assistance from the team in terms of how to migrate here, technical support, and answering our questions for the various services, accesses. It helps us quite a smooth way in terms of transitioning to the BNB ecosystem. And then we're in the ecosystem, we had a lot of support and collaboration from the partners, various projects in here to work with us to both building our infrastructure, services, and also in terms of other game or project collaboration as well. So overall, with the help and also with the effort by ourselves, right now with 1+ month, I think we're about to pass 1.5 million users. So we can count as more of a monthly active user base for 1.5 mil. And then in addition to that, the daily active, right now we're passing 120,000, I think. So that puts us a bit behind PancakeSwap, I think, in terms of ranking. We're very happy with that amount out there, and definitely we'll still keep trying our best to keep that number on track, and also maybe probably grow a bit more in the future, so that we can have more people on the BNB, relying on the BNB chain, in the BNB chain ecosystem, experience our games in here.
We're very glad to know that your experience on BNB chain thus far has been positive, and we hope to help you out in the future with all the products that you're working on. I'm curious about the team behind Gameta, though. Can you give us a little bit more about them? Because
Yeah,
they're all
definitely.
hippo profile pictures.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I touched a brief bit a moment ago. So, yeah, let me expand on that a bit. So, the team basically consists of two kinds of core team members. On the one side, we have we have a lot our core team members very experienced in the terms of developing hyper casual games. So this is the core foundation like of the project. You need to have very like mature and well produced game and content for user to experience. And on the other side, you need a very well designed like token and NFT ecosystem, and then you combine them together so you have the GameTap project. So on the hyper casual game side, our founders and our development teams actually has their previous experience are in the hyper casual game development industry, so aggregator game industry. So they spend over 6 to 8 years in the industry development games, distribution games, and all of that for them. So it's been a very long experience for them, and to this day, like I mentioned, the reason we're able to reach out to a large number of audiences is because we have trained our developing and distribution system for 6 to 8 years, so that now it works very in sync with one another. So from the stage of coming up with ideas of how to develop games, we're already putting like experiments on testing if that idea works in the market or work with the users, if they're going to be popular or attractive to the user. And then we have the game, we're putting various channels that we have developed, like very famous like social media channels, platforms, so that we can put them out, reach out to other people so that well. So with that kind of combination, now you have the base for the project to be able, one, to have the content, second, to have the distribution channels, and then combined with that, our team members on the Web3 side are actually all have 5 to 6 years of experiences. Like our token system designer had about 4 to 5 years in the like indexes, designing a system for dexes, exchanges, and then our product director also he worked for 2+ premier exchanges around the world, so had a lot of experience in product development, so a good guidance for us. And like I myself also have 4 to 5 years in the industry, primarily in marketing and community building. So I'm willing to go out, and so we're very passionate about kind of bringing this experience to the users out there, to the fans out there, have them experience us. And yeah, I'm very happy because I think for the team, our abilities kind of complement each other, and that overall can help us develop kind of this project and this network that can be suitable for the users that are coming to us.
Well, thank you for that insight. And what are you planning for Gameta in the next few months, if you can share that with us?
Oh, definitely, definitely. That's a really good question. So, three things actually. So, one is definitely more games. So, I think from this one, it's actually kind of differentiate our us GameTap from some of the other ones out there. Is so because for a lot of projects, I think our project with a game element in there, project tend to release about 90% of their content of game when they initially release. So then after that, it's about maintenance or adding new economic system into that. But for us, what we think is that the core of this project for user to keep enjoying are the games. So we want to keep releasing content. So for our overall plan is that for a period of 1 to 2 years, we'll be keep releasing new contents to the market, to the user, like one games every 1 to 2 weeks to them. So for the coming months, one thing that can be expected is that we'll be releasing new game into lineup. Right now there's 11. Probably by the end of the year there will be 30 or more in the lineup. So people will have a lot more options to play around with, to experience around with. That's the first one. Secondly, is that we are planning our NFT launches. So right now, users have their airdrop of free avatar NFTs like the Hippo NFT. So initially, right now, the functions are very basic. So first of all, you have the visuals. Secondly, you have them for unlocking various functions. And then in the future, probably very soon, we'll be opening up the leveling up capability functions. One, and secondly, we are kind of will be offering like new marketplace functions so that you're starting able to have like mint functions. You'll be able to trade them in the open market. So now you have some more fun to do it with the market, with other players. Actually have economic incentive coming up with your NFT as well. So the second one. And third one is building our fiat on ramp services with user expanding them. So our user base does not primarily consist of users from Web2 market, and these are a lot of them are the everyday users, consumers who just basically use like their credit card, debit card to pay for stuff. So we want to build a regulated way for them to be able to pay with those, and then obtain the NFTs or the token rewards that they have. So it'll be very easy for them. So they don't have to go on a DEX or some other places, and spend a lot of learning time experiences. We want them to be very easy experience for them to do it. So that'll be the third goal for us. So overall, one, we want to give more games, more content to the community. Second, give more benefits, utilities to the NFTs, basically NFT one. And third one, fiat on-off ramp service expansion for our users.
Great.
Yeah.
The project has a token and an NFT system. Can you tell us a little bit more about the token utilities and the NFT utilities, especially some of those utilities that you said will be upcoming in the next period? I think we lost Bill for a second.
Oops, sorry, I'm back.
Oh, no problem with that. Bill, as I was saying, so Gameta has a token as well as an NFT system. Can you tell us some more details about the token utilities as well as the NFT utilities, and maybe the upcoming surprises that you said about coming to the Hippo NFTs for each players?
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. So two things. One, the tokens. Second is the NFTs. So the tokens, like mentioned before, they're going to be the primary token that we'll have is called the HIP token. So they're called the HIP token. These will be the ones that's used in-game. Users can purchase them or earn them through tradings. And then they have utilities of two kinds: one economic utility, second one governance utilities. So the economic ones will bring the most direct effect benefits to the holder. So first of all, you have the fee benefits for the marketplace that later will be engaged with for either the NFT transactions from our ecosystem or the token transactions for NFTs, the trading pair. So for those one, it will be there will be revenue sharing. Basically, it will be in the form of either shared revenue to token holders or revenue buybacks to token holders to buy back tokens and burn them out. So there's coming a deflationary way. And secondly, when the users use the do the tradings or transactions in our in-game marketplaces that we build in the futures, the token can be used for fee discounts as well. And then so those are some very direct ways to bring benefits to you. And then in the future, you can also use them for staking when you want to, get on the whitelist for additional new, like exclusive, more premier NFT offering from an ecosystem, or staking them for other new services that will be offered. And in addition to that, like you mentioned before, in the future, the third stage of the project is that we will be inviting new partners into our ecosystem to provide their services to our users as well. So for them to do that, one of the medium they can use leverage when they offer service to our users in the ecosystem will be to leverage the HIP token, the HB token. So, for example, they have to deposit or stake certain amount of HB tokens when they offer their services to the user in our ecosystem, and or when the user uses their services, one of the payment option is to use the HB token. So that's as one more layer of benefits for our use case scenario for the HB token. And then, like I mentioned, on the other side, for the governance side, we're building and we'll be expanding the DAO governance to the community for this one. So you'll be starting with, you'll be able to have the voting ability for choosing like which game you need to use, the token side. Oh,
Okay, I can hear you now. There seems to be a little bit of a lag, but we can. Yeah, I think
back.
we're again. Okay, if you can just give us visibility on the past 30 seconds, because that is what we missed so far. Bill, I believe you're on mute.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, let me see.
No, it's
Am I back again? in the Okay, I'm good now. Okay, for the NFTs, definitely like I mentioned, place two things. One, NFT marketplaces, and third, newly tradable minting functions for your own NFT. So that's the two new perks coming up pretty soon. So yeah, if you have the NFT, hold on to them. If not, download games, get your airdrop of NFTs. It will be worth it.
fair enough. Thank you for repeating that. And the next question is more of a broad, general question. Just because you mentioned that Gameta's team has a lot of experience in mainstream casual development, what traits do you think that Web2 products can carry over or applicable to Web3 products demographics?
Definitely. So I think two things that agree the most with. First one is the methodology of finding product market fit. Like when the team are building our products in the Web 2 days. So the first thing you want to go out and do is find the product market fit. So it's in two stages. One, you develop your games, your product. You find your friends, people you respect, and some industry peer to review and give you feedbacks. But at a certain stage, you feel like you're giving enough feedback and improve your game, your products to a certain level. That's when you need to really go out your comfort zone and find the channels, find the distribution channels or the groups that can really bring business benefits to your product. So in the Web 2 days, it might be like looking at distribution channels like our TikTok or other stuff, or YouTube to distribute, or Twitter or Facebook, whatever. But then in the Web 3 days, it's the same idea. You can rely like 10 to 20 your core user to give you feedback. But then when you have your confidence ready, you go out, you talk to other communities, other influencers, other ecosystem, or maybe BNB chain ecosystem. Pitch your product, get your thing to be quickly adopted, used by many, so that then you can quickly know if the product market is fit is there, so that you can update or evolve your product really quickly. So that's something we learn, and we still think from Web 2, and we think that's applicable to Web 3 as well. Secondly, is that to when you develop your product, it's best to stick and really remember that, stick to what really works, the core of your product, and that's not the money part. So a lot of our experience is that Web3 brings in a lot of benefits for product development with the emergence of coins. coins, tokens, all those things. It brings down the barrier of the product's economic benefits. However, that kind of also leads to a lot of products putting a lot of focus or core focus into the token system, or thinking that the token are the one that brings the most benefits or the core function for the product. But at the end of the day, our thought is that what really makes a product works is the service that you provide, be it like our gaming experiences, or the other kind of wallet asset management experiences, or other experiences. Focus on, still remember on what really your business model first, and then remember that tokens or the Web3 system are the ones that as benefit, as expand the utilities of our product, but always stick to the core principles of the product. It can really help us help the project in the long run. So yeah, those are two other ones we still think were applicable to the Web3 universe.
Great. Thank you very much, Bill, for answering our questions, and that was the last of our questions. Let's take a few moments and let me remind everybody that you can post your questions in the comments of the stream, and let's see if anybody has other questions for you or for us.
Awesome.
A question from Humphrey. Hey, Bill, can we Gameta fans expect any upgrade in the design, graphics, and also maybe come pre-installed in the new models of smartphones? That would be huge. What do you think?
Yeah, so the bringing you to the new smartphones, definitely. So one, upgrade to the visuals, that's in the planning for sure. We are planning two phases. So one, right now you have the casual games, and then we're kind of also planning development on a bit of a complicated games in the future coming up as well, to give you a better experiences. That's definitely comes with an upgrade in the visuals, and also there'll be some new adaptation to the the latest new phone models as well.
Fair enough, and I hope that answers your question, Humphrey. Let's wait another minute to see if we have any more questions before we close down. All right. I don't think that we have any more questions from our audience. I wanted to ask you to shed a light on the future project events from your side.
Definitely. So, like I mentioned a moment ago, there's probably two major events for us. One is the release of new games, probably in the coming 2 weeks. Definitely also with the BNB channel, to collaborating with the team. We're actually bringing some very special game into the lineup. So be sure to check out our website, Gameta.pro, I think that is, and then and also our Twitter as well. So for the announcement, and also next time will definitely be the launch of the NFT marketplace and NFT, basically NFT utility upgrade. So that will happen in about a month to a month and a half. So by then, holders of our NFTs will start realize that they are having a lot more new utilities and functions coming up to the ones they are holding. So it will be a definitely new stage for the NFTs that they have, and for the NFT system or the collections that already have. So those two are two major things coming up. I think that will bring directly interest to our followers, users out there.
Thank you very much, and on the behalf of BNB Chain and all of our audience, we're looking forward to the future projects that you guys are working on. Thank you very much, Bill. Bill was the Global Director for Gameta of Community. I've been your host, Ahmed Tahemar, from the BNB Chain Gaming Vertical. We hope you had a great time today, and thank you very much. Thank you, Bill.